Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Kristina. I'm 32 weeks pregnant and I'm just doing a little bit of a pregnancy sort of update every now and then. It's been quite a while since my last video, but as you can tell by the title, I'm now in my third trimester. So yeah, I've got 8 weeks left and that has gone so quickly. If you have been following me along my journey, thank you for sticking with me so far. Still got a little while to go, but yeah, it is going very, very quickly. As usual, I've got a list of things I'm going to go through on my phone because baby brain, I will forget. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. So I'm just going to go over what happened on my most recent midwife appointment, which was last week. So that would have made me 31 weeks at that point. So I am measuring really well. They have said that my bump is a good size, that he is a good size. They did also say that he is currently in a breech position, which isn't the best thing to hear, but I obviously have 8 weeks to get him in the position that he needs to be in, so I'm not too concerned. But the second that I mention the word breech to anyone, it's just like negative, negative, negative. So I'm really trying to just stay positive and not worry too much about if he was to be breech when it comes to birth, because I'm sure it happens all the time and there's always a way of fixing things. So yeah, they also took my blood and told me that my iron levels are amazing, which is really weird considering I was actually anemic before I became pregnant. So very good to know that the baby is getting a good amount of iron from my blood. I also got weighed and I'm not sure if you can tell, I have put on a little bit of weight on my face now, which I'm absolutely fine with. It is a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're creating a human, so you're going to put on a little bit of weight. So when I first became pregnant, I was 10 stone 2. I'm now 11 stone 6, so I've just put on a stone and 4 pounds, 18 pounds I think. Not really sure how it's all worked out, but yeah, it's a healthy amount of weight to have put on so far in my stage of pregnancy, so I'm not really concerned about that. And obviously the baby is part of that weight, so are my boobs, so is my blood, so is the placenta. So there's so many different things that are adding to the weight that I'm putting on. When I was there, I did mention to my midwife that I have started to get some colostrum coming onto the nipple area, which is very, very weird. When it first happened, I was like absolutely petrified and I didn't really know what I was meant to do with it. But after doing a bit of research and now speaking to my midwife, I know that I need to be collecting it because it's seen as like liquid gold for the baby. So I don't think there's enough there now for me to start collecting it, but I have got some syringes. So when it does start coming in a little bit stronger, then I'll be collecting it and freezing it for when the baby is here. I've also been doing quite a lot of research on breastfeeding because I do really want to give it a go. I know obviously that not everyone can do it. I have got implants in as well, so it might make things a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to really try. If I can't breastfeed, then I will also try to express, because I just think that if I can give my child the most natural thing possible, then I'm going to try my hardest, and then at least then I can say that I tried. Plus it's also free, so I'm all about saving a bit of money. Continuing on from my boobs, I have got a lot of stretch marks all over my boobs now. I didn't think I would. I said in my last video that I kind of thought that when I got my boobs done, my augmentation, that my skin would have stretched as much as it could have, and if I was to have got stretch marks, it would have been then. But bloody hell, my boobs are massive now. So yeah, they've got stretch marks all over them, but they're there for that reason. They're there to feed a baby, hopefully. So I shouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, stretch marks on the boobs. I've also got them a little bit on my hips, but luckily I've managed to avoid on the bump at the moment. But we will see. I've still got a lot of growing to do, so I will probably get stretch marks there. But again, it is what it is. I've been using bio oil and the Palmer's cocoa shea butter thingy, which is like specifically for stretch marks, and I think that's been doing quite well. I think at the end of the day, if you're going to get stretch marks, you're going to get them. It's inevitable. So there's not really much you can do to stop it apart from just keeping yourself moisturised. I've also noticed that my belly button, so my belly button is completely different to what it used to be. I had it pierced a long time ago, and now that scar is absolutely vile. And I also have freckles in there, which I never knew I had, but every now and then I'll be sitting there, normally after I've eaten, and I can actually see my belly button kind of going like that, and that's him moving, and it is the weirdest thing. It's like an alien.
Who's better looking out of the two of you? What do you think the audience are going to go for? OT. You're going to go with OT. So you're saying OT is better looking than Mary? Okay. No, that's it.
Oh, I look like my sister now. Very close.
It's just nice to see. Like, I know that it sounds really weird, but it is nice to see, because you can't always feel that he's moving inside you, but when you can see the actual movement, it's just really nice and reassuring to know that he's okay in there. Okay, so continuing on from movement, so he has, obviously he's in the breech position at the moment, so his head is right where my belly button is, and his back and bum are kind of right down the bottom where my pelvis is. But for the first time I experienced him having hiccups the other night, and God, it doesn't stop. It was like continuously going for like a good hour, and I don't know what I ate or drank to give him these hiccups, but it was just like a pulse. It was just like going non-stop, and it was right down in my pelvis, like right down the lady area, so it was just very weird feeling. So yeah, I've experienced hiccups with him for the first time, and I've also sounds very weird, but I've also felt him kick right down in the JJ area, and it actually feels like he's punching me on my fanny, and it's like a real big shock when he does it, because you just don't expect it. You expect the kicks and everything to be bump area, because that's just from like being a first time mum. I've never done this before, and you just think that's the only place they can get to. No, they can get right down right down there, right down in your cervix. So yeah, that's a new experience I've been having. A lot of time it actually happens while I'm at work on the phone to customers, which isn't very good. So he'll be giving me a quick jab in the fanny, and I'll be like, oh. So yeah, it's quite embarrassing, but at least I know that he's healthy. A tip that my midwife gave me the last time I went and saw her, so I mentioned in my last video that I'm like non-stop going for a wee all the time, and then when I go for a wee, it's like the smallest little wee you could imagine. It's just pathetic. And when you're like downstairs in the living room and you need a wee, you have to go all the way upstairs to go for this tiny little wee, then back down again, and then you're up again in the next 10 minutes. It's literally like so much effort to just go for a wee. So I mentioned it to her, and she mentioned that you could, once you've been for a wee, just sit there for a minute and just keep like rocking backwards and forwards, because that kind of like empties your bladder fully. And I've actually started to do that, and I didn't realise that I wasn't emptying it fully. So that's just a little tip for you ladies. If you do find that you're going for a wee a lot and you get off the toilet and you feel like I could probably go for another wee, just sit back down, give yourself a quick rock backwards and forwards, and maybe a little bit more wee will come out. Let me know if that has happened to you and if this tip helps. Talking of wees, I have been wetting myself. It's normally when I'm having a giggle or sneeze. I was ill last week and I was sneezing quite a lot, and not like full on wetting myself, but like, you know, when you just, a little bit comes out. So yeah, I need to keep reminding myself to do my pelvic floors exercises, but it's just so hard. Like, it's not hard, like it's not hard to do at all, but it's just so easy to forget to do it. So I just really need to make sure, like I should write it on my hand or something to make sure that I just keep on doing it. Even when I'm like driving to work or just sitting down watching the telly, or even now just talking to the camera, I should just be doing it just to make sure that it's strong and once I've had him, I don't sit there peeing myself. Right, I'm going to talk about clothing because I've just been to Primark and got some bits for my hospital bag. So my hospital bag is ready, his hospital bag is ready. I'm very prepared, and I always have been and I always will be. So I'm so bad at this, but I always think of the worst possible thing that could happen, and if he was to come tomorrow, I just like to be prepared so that I can, for my own sanity, I can just make sure that everything's going to be fine. We've got the bags ready. So I went to Primark today, and my outfits at the moment have basically been, because of the size of the bump, it's literally just a black top, a black sports bra type of thing, black leggings, and one of these wrap things. It's either a wrap or a cardigan or a coat. I just find it's the most comfortable. Black stops people being able to see if your boobs are leaking or if you've wet yourself, you know. And I think I will probably continue this sort of like uniform outfit sort of style of thing when he makes an arrival, because it's comfortable, and yeah, black is the best at hiding everything. So when I went to Primark, I got myself a couple more pairs of leggings. These ones aren't Maternity, so I've not actually tried these ones on yet, but the ones that I am wearing are Maternity, and they're from Boohoo, and they're really good. They're just quite thin, so I picked up these ones in the hope that they'd be a bit thicker, because you can kind of see my knickers through them. So I picked up a couple of pairs of leggings, and I have gone a size up in them because they're not Maternity. And then a couple more of just these normal tops, which again I can wear once he's here, and not worry about any spillages and stuff. Then I picked up some ginormous black pants. I've been told that the best pants to take with you in your hospital bag are black ones, and ones that could potentially go up to your belly button, just in case you were to have a C-section. And also you need to make sure there's enough room in there for the ginormous maternity pad that you're going to be wearing once you've had him, because it's basically like wearing a nappy. So yeah, I bought some of them, and this is what sort of size we're talking about. Very, very fit. And for the first time, I actually saw that they had some nursing bras, and I'd never seen them in there before, probably because I've never actually needed to look. But the one that I go to is in Bromley, and there was only these ones there. These were the only maternity nursing bras that they had. Pack of 2 for £10. But they do look quite good. They're just standard, and they're quite a good material. So once I've been able to hopefully try and breastfeed, I'll let you guys know how I get on with these. So yeah, that is the clothing side of things done. So I'm still a size 10/12 in maternity clothes, but if I was to wear normal clothes, I'd go up to a size 12/14. Getting out of breath. Good idea me talking about this now. So even just having a conversation with someone, I get out of breath now. And obviously the more further gone I get, the less room there is in me for my organs, if that makes sense. So obviously he's up here at the minute, meaning I've got this much room for all my other organs. So I am finding it really hard not to like get like really out of breath when I'm just having just a normal chat with someone. I walk up the stairs and I'm out of breath. I walk down the stairs and I'm out of breath. It is a bit of a joke, but I don't know if it's because I'm unfit or just because I'm pregnant and there's no room. I don't know. So his nursery is completely ready now. I am going to do a nursery reveal at some point on this channel. I'm not too sure when it will be, because we are planning on having him in here with us for the first few weeks. I'm aiming for 6-ish weeks before we put him in his room, but it all completely depends on if I can breastfeed or if he gets on with the bedroom. I don't know. First time doing this, so I'm still learning. So if you have any advice on when to move the baby from your room into their own room, then please leave them down below. Yeah, as I was saying, so we're going to have him in our room. I sleep on this side and there's plenty of room for a cot here. We did get a second-hand Chico beside me sort of cot thing where you can take the side down, so he's basically co-sleeping in bed with you but not actually in the bed. So he's right next to where my face is. Because we thought that instead of buying a brand new one and risking the fact that he could not like it, we'll just get a second-hand one. So we got a second-hand one, and it's really good. We just replaced the mattress, got new bedding and everything, so that will be in the room with us when he's here. We also have, my cousin has lent me her sleepy head, which I think are ridiculously overpriced. £180 for basically a pillow is a bit silly. So again, I would rather have a second-hand one, and that way, if he doesn't get on with it, I've not wasted £180. Right, sleeping. Okay, so I know that you're meant to sleep on your side, and they do say that it is preferable to sleep on your left side. But if you have been sleeping on your left side every single day for 9 months, it gets a little bit boring. Sometimes I actually wake up where I've slept so like hard on my left side that my ear is like pulsating. So I'll wake up and I'll roll onto my right side just so that I can kind of mix it up a little bit. But because his head is like right here on my right, as soon as I lay on my right side, he starts like clawing me from the inside. I don't know if that's what he's doing, but it feels like he's scratching my insides and saying like, "Mum, move over, I don't like it on this side." I also wanted to just let you guys know that in my last video I was raving about a pregnancy pillow. It was really good. It was really good, but I've now ditched that, and I've just got like a thicker cushion sort of thing. Shove that in between your legs, and it does the same job. I think because I'm getting bigger now and there's not a lot of room in the bed, the pregnancy pillow is just too much. So yeah, if you're contemplating getting a pillow and you're not sure whether to, I'd give it a go, but it's not a necessity, and like a little cushion will do just as much of a good job. Preparing for the baby. So one of my colleagues at work has just had a baby, and he gave me such a good idea, which I didn't even think of. The weeks leading up to the baby being here, to bulk cook things like, I don't know, like shepherd's pie, lasagna, things like that, and freeze them. So what we've done is we have got loads of little containers, and like I just said, I'm just going to bulk cook things. So when I cook a normal dinner, I'm going to just do 2 or 3 times as much as I normally would, and put that into a container, so that when the baby is here and we don't have time necessarily to cook from scratch and have decent meals, I can just go to the freezer, open it up and reheat that, and then you've got a decent meal. So that's a really good tip, I would say, for people that are worrying about fitting in food around a baby, especially because the baby will take up all your time, all your attention, and obviously I've never done this before. I'm just, again, thinking what could happen in worst case scenarios sort of things. But yeah, that's one thing that we're going to start doing. So we bought loads of containers from I think it was B&M. They're just like, you know, when you get a Chinese, them sort of containers. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is my maternity leave. So I officially finish work on the 22nd of November. So that gives me 3 weeks before my due date, before he arrives, to get whatever I need to get ready, to relax myself, keep my feet up so I don't go all swollen. But yeah, it's actually like official. My last day is the 22nd of November, and it's made it feel very real. So hopefully after that date I can start uploading a few more videos more frequently than I do now. I've only been able to do like 3 or 4 videos at the moment because I work full time. I come home, I have a nap, then I cook, then I go to bed. It's just like, there's not enough hours in the day for me to be able to fit in filming things for my channel, which I wish I could have some more time. And hopefully when the baby's here I can start doing some more videos. I do have quite a few ideas that I want to put out there, but until I'm on maternity leave you probably won't hear from me again. I'm not sure. I might try and squeeze in like the nursery reveal, maybe some maternity clothing hauls, I'm not too sure. But if you have any requests or questions or anything like that, please leave them down below. Let me show you the bump before I go. This is what we're working with now. I definitely have a bump now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if I rambled on a lot. I can see that I've been filming for quite a long time now, so I'm going to try and cut it down so that you're not sitting there for too long. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you in my next one.